travel and change of place imparts new vigor to the mind and the body. Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in here. It's a pleasure to serve you. So today we'll talk about my experience in the Holy Land in case you be interested to visit Israel. I like to share you some places you should never forget when you visit there. I'll just give you a glimpse of what we went through for 15 days. Our Jewish guide was a rabbi, so that makes all the difference. After I retired, I made myself a vow that every year I have to go to a place where I have never been, whether local, foreign, as long as it's a place I have never been. So, except for pandemic times, the end of the year is coming, so I have to be in a place I have never been this year. Of course, our greatest legacy to leave behind are beautiful memories, especially with family and friends. Travel and change of place imparts new vigor to the mind and the body. So we collect moments, not things. Although there are really some people who would even question me saying, why would you have to go to that place when you can look at it in geography? So it's not the same for everyone, but let me share you my experience in Israel. So you will not miss visiting those places in case you be going there. It was an awesome tour. It was beyond description. I learned so much. I enjoyed every bit. And I sometimes reminisce those past because I had been teaching Sunday school and now the places has become alive. Our first destination was Jaffa, the house of Simon the tanner, where Peter raised Tabitha from the dead. So it's still existing. At Tel Aviv University, we visited Diaspora Museum, where we had varied sculptures, pictures, synagogues, and the experiences available of blessings and chaos experienced by the Jewish people in their lifetime. It was preserved there. At Latrum, we visited IDF Armored Corps Museum. Real tanks, list of thousands upon thousands of Jewish military men and women who died. That's how valuable a Jewish life is. Don't forget to visit Caesarea, where Cornelius in the Bible was converted. The theater was super awesome. It's still existing and it's still usable. Imagine those times there are no microphones, but look at the thousands of seats there. So our guide explained to us that the sea breeze, that's why it's in front of the sea. Said the sea breeze will carry the sounds up to the highest seat, so they can still hear even if there is no microphone. How cool is that? Oh my god, it was really awesome. We sat there for some minutes. We also visited the museum at Haifa. The sunken, lost submarine for 31 years was discovered and retrieved, and it's still functional, but was stuck there just for display. We went inside. We passed by Galilee at Cana, where the wedding happened, where Jesus turned the water into wine. At the Sea of Galilee, or Kinneret, we had an awesome experience at sea because we were able to experience what our guide was talking about. In that Sea of Galilee, the weather is so unpredictable. It was sunny day when we rode the boat, but when we were in the middle of the sea, out of nowhere, a gush of strong wind rocked our boat, so we could not even take picture because the boat was rocking. We had to hold in the seat, and after some time it just stopped. And our guide was saying, you see, maybe God wants you to experience what they experienced before when the apostles had to wake him up. Why are you sleeping? And the storm is rocking our boat almost to sink. And Jesus woke up and he said, peace be still. And everything was still. That's our experience there. It was so beautiful. Then we went to Megiddo. On the beautiful city gates were trenches of temples fortresses still exist. Horse breeding training ranch. Ah, a beautiful picture there. Then of course we went to Jerusalem, so-called the Holy City. But we had to first go to Jordan River where Jesus Christ was baptized. I thought it was so wide. Oh no, it was just like that. Some of our companions went into the water just to experience the Jordan River. It was murky during that time. We also went to Shiloah Pool, where the sick person for 39 years was sitting there waiting for someone to put him on the pool to get healed. So when Jesus approached, he healed him right there and then. The power of spoken words. He said, "Rise up," and he rose up right away. The climax of it all was when we visited the Western Wall. It's the essence of the pilgrimage. We went down the Temple Mount. It's to the Jewish world, the center of creation, the focal point of creation, where they believe that the foundation stone is in that site where Adam came into being. And here's where Abraham offered Isaac but got the ram instead for the offering. Here's where the first and the second temple stood. The Ark of the Covenant is still believed to be there. The first temple built by Solomon, it was rebuilt in the year 70. It was destroyed by the Romans. The Golden Dome, as you see now, is the very spot where the temple was supposed to be the holiest place in Jewish culture, and ironically, not yet in their possession. So what is left is the Western Wall, there, where all the Jewish people put their prayers there. We call it the Wailing Wall. So we also went there and set our prayers in those rocks. Up on the Jericho Road, passed by the Mount Olives Cemetery. Look at the cemetery of Jewish people. It's really all stones. They do not put flowers on top of those stones. They put stones itself. It's totally different from other cultures. When a person dies in Jewish culture, they are buried within 24 hours from the time of death. And then the family opens the house for mourning for 7 days, where family and friends go and comfort them. So that's how they mourn for the dead. In that picture is a very beautiful Jewish girl. We were mesmerized by her songs. It was my first time to see a real harp at play. And beside that is the Eye of the Needle Gate, which is the smallest gate in Jerusalem. It's not a literal eye of the needle that Jesus was referring to when he said, "It's easier for the camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter heaven." Baby camels can pass through that. Donkeys can pass through that. When we were there, it was temporarily closed. See also the biggest golden menorah, estimated to be over 7 million US dollars. If ever you go to Israel, never miss Genesis land. That was one of the most unforgettable experience I had personally. We were able to ride the camel and enter the tent of Abraham, where we were met by handsome Eliezer, servant of Abraham. Oh my God, it was really awesome. Look at the tent. It's really made of skin of ships. And oh my God, they have the best tasting tea I ever tasted in my life. We also passed by Qumran National Park, where the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in those caves. We climbed En Gedi. Don't ever miss that. It was a beautiful experience for me. To the cave where David hid his 300 men when they were running away from King Saul, who was going to kill him. This is the same place where David cut the hem of the robe of King Saul, just to let him feel that he would have killed him. He did not want to murder the king. This cave is so popular. Look at the water springing out from the rocks. They do not have trees there. Look at that, they are all rocks there. The miracle of it. So that psalm which says, "The deer panteth to the water." Imagine there is no water elsewhere except that brook. So of course animals would flock there. There were so many people bathing there. It was so murky. We had thousands of tourists flocking there. And we went to the Dead Sea where I literally experienced how to float. I don't know how to swim, but for the first time in my life, I floated in Dead Sea. To me, that was triumphant. You do not see the water rushing to the shore. The ripples are just so tiny. That's the Dead Sea experience. And don't ever miss Masada National Park. It's a very popular tourist destination, and I also enjoyed to the max our travel there. Located in a very high plateau. In fact, there's a movie about that, Masada Massacre, where the Jewish people would rather commit suicide than surrender. It's really one of a kind. So we discovered that the tiles what we see right here and now were existing that time. Oh my God, the bathtub for the king there still intact. We have pictures on that. Indeed, there is nothing new under the sun. We also went on a bonus trip to Arad where we planted some trees. So my personal tree was a fig tree, which I wish to visit if ever I go there again. Look at the dates. Oh my God, I didn't know how big that is. And it's so robust. The land in Israel is so full of stones. I don't know how the plants are so robust. Every tree that you see in Israel, there's a hose in it because it rains only some kind of 2 times a year. So that's how valuable water is there. That's why they know how to recycle. They are really intelligent people. Our visit to Mount Olive's Garden of Gethsemane was one also of the unforgettable experience. You feel something different when you go to that place. So we passed by the oldest olive tree in Israel and in the world, we don't know. There is some kind of peace and tranquility that you do not just find anywhere. We went to the dungeon where Yeshua was supposed to have been scourged and placed in the dungeon. We went right there. And the so-called burial place, although this is not totally agreed by everyone. Then we passed by the Valley of Skulls, going to the Holocaust Museum. If you look at the Valley of Skull, it's really like a skull on the outside. We visited ruins of these big synagogues, and this is our group picture. We really do need some vacations. Go to places you have never been. And if you have never been to Israel yet, include in your bucket list. It's really amazing. So thank you for watching to the end. If you have any question, any query, please put in the comment below. And I'll try as much to explain as explained by our Rabbi tourist guide. I would really appreciate your kindness and generosity if you would please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel for more videos to enhance the body, the mind, and spirit confidence for all viewers. Thank you so much. See you next video. I love you.